Picture this, it's 2 a.m., pitch black outside, and my phone's blaring like a fire alarm. I'm Dr. Thomas Bennett, a 40-year veteran of geriatric medicine, and I thought I'd seen every curveball aging could throw. But that night in October 2024, when the hospital called about Emily Harper, my world tilted. She fell, Dr. Thomas, the nurse said, her voice tight. She's asking for you. My heart dropped like a stone. Emily wasn't just a patient, she was a reminder of why I do this work, and a warning that even my best might not be enough. What if the life you cherished, those morning walks, chasing grandkids, or just standing tall, could slip away in one misstep? That's what Emily faced, and it's why I'm sharing her story with you today. Hey, it's Dr. Thomas. Let me tell you about the night that changed my life. If you're over 50, or you've got someone you love who is, pull up a chair. This isn't just a story, it's a wake-up call, and it's personal. Emily's fight to claw back her strength hit me hard, and it's gonna hit you too. It's about the silent thief stealing your muscles every night, and most folks don't even know it's happening. For the living fully after 50 crew, this one's for you, the ones dreaming of staying strong, dancing at weddings, or just feeling like yourself again. Let's dive into the night that changed everything, because, as Emily showed me, your life's worth fighting for. Meeting Emily, a spark in the dark. I first met Emily Harper on a rainy Portland morning in early 2024, in my little clinic tucked between coffee shops and bookstores. She was 67. A widow with a smile that could light up a room, but that day, her hazel eyes were clouded with fear. She shuffled in, gripping a beat-up cane like it was her lifeline, and sat down with a sigh. Dr. Thomas, she said, her voice soft but heavy, I'm falling apart. My legs shake like jello, and I'm scared I'll hit the floor and never get up. Emily wasn't just any patient. She was the Rose Lady of her neighborhood, famous for her garden that stopped traffic. She'd chase her grandkids through the sprinklers, laughing till her sides hurt, and she and her late husband, Jack, used to dance to old jazz records in their living room. But now, she was fading. 2 falls in 6 months, one bad enough to bruise her hip for weeks, had stolen her confidence. I just want to tend my roses, she told me, tears brimming. I want to hold my grandkids without worrying I'll drop 'em. That moment gutted me. I've heard that fear 1,000 times, the dread of losing your independence, of trading your home for a hospital bed. As Maya Angelou said, you may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. Emily was teetering on defeat, and I wasn't gonna let her fall. Her pain wasn't just physical, it was the ache of watching your life slip away. I promised we'd fight this together, but I didn't know how close we'd come to losing it all, or how Emily would teach me what medicine's really about. The nighttime heist you don't see. Let's talk about what's happening while you're dreaming. When you sleep, your body's like a construction crew, rebuilding muscles, rewiring nerves, and patching up the wear and tear of the day. The parasympathetic nervous system, think of it as the fix-it guy, takes over, but it needs the right tools. Without specific vitamins, that repair job stalls, and your muscles wake up weaker. For seniors, that's not just a bummer, it's a crisis. After 60, you can lose up to 3% of your strength every year, not just from getting older, but because of a nutritional gap that hits hardest at night. The science doesn't lie, 93% of folks over 65 are missing at least one of 7 key vitamins that keep muscles strong during sleep. A video from Living Fully After 50 broke it down. Magnesium, B12, D3, E, B6, C, and K2 are just pills, they are your body's lifeline. For Emily, they became her armor, but it took a fight to get there. Let me take you through her journey, share some stories from other patients, and show you the moments that had me holding my breath. This is personal, so stick with me. Magnesium, the first step back. We kick things off with magnesium glycinate, a mineral that's like a warm hug for your muscles. It eases tension, powers repair, and kicks cramps to the curb. A study from the University of Palermo showed seniors taking 250 milligrams nightly for 3 months got a 34% boost in morning muscle function. Emily's leg cramps were brutal, waking her up in a cold sweat. "It's like my legs are staging a mutiny," she said, half laughing, half crying. I told her to take 250 milligrams of magnesium glycinate 30 minutes before bed, washed down with a mug of warm water. 2 weeks later, she called me, sounding like a kid on Christmas. "Dr. Thomas, I slept through the night, no cramps. I walked to my mailbox without feeling like I'd collapse." It was a tiny win, but for Emily, it was hope. I thought of Bob, a 70-year-old retired mechanic who'd stopped fixing cars because of cramps. Magnesium got him back under the hood, rebuilding an old Mustang with his son. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The first wealth is health." For Emily, magnesium was her first dollar in the bank. But cramps were just the start. Emily's muscles were starving, and every night without these nutrients was like a bank robbery. We had to move fast. Vitamin B12, lighting up the wires. Next up was vitamin B12, specifically methylcobalamin, the kind that keeps your nerves and muscles talking. Aging cuts down stomach acid, which you need to pull B12 from food, and that leads to what researchers call the silent destroyer of strength. A Tufts University study found 39% of seniors with muscle weakness were B12 deficient. Emily's legs felt like they were slogging through mud. "I'm scared to walk to my kitchen," she admitted, her voice small. "What if I fall again?" I had her take 1,000 micrograms of sublingual methyl B12 an hour before bed, letting it dissolve under her tongue to skip digestion and spark nerve repair during deep sleep. A month later, she was steadier. "I caught myself when I tripped on my doormat," she said, grinning ear to ear. "I haven't done that in forever." The big moment came at her grandson's birthday party. Emily crossed the backyard without her cane, blowing bubbles with the kids. Her daughter pulled me aside later, tears in her eyes, and said, "You gave us our mom back." I thought of Linda, a 73-year-old pianist whose shaky hands had stopped her music. B12 brought her back to her keyboard, playing Amazing Grace at her church. These aren't just wins, they are miracles of the heart. But Emily's fear of falling was still there, like a shadow we had to chase away. Vitamin D3, the fire in her bones. Vitamin D3 was our next play, a hormone that flips on muscle growth genes, especially the fast twitch fibers that keep you quick and balanced. A Swiss study showed low D3 levels doubled the risk of serious muscle loss. Emily's blood work showed she was running on empty, probably because she'd been staying inside since Jack passed. "I used to love the sunshine," she said, her voice catching. "Now I'm too scared to go out." I prescribed 2000 IU of D3, taken after dinner with a spoonful of peanut butter to boost absorption by 60%. Nighttime was key, since D3 fuels protein synthesis while you sleep. 3 months in, Emily climbed her porch steps without grabbing the railing. "I felt like I could run," she said, laughing. I thought of Joe, a 72-year-old vet who'd been stuck with a walker after a fall. D3 helped him ditch it, letting him fish with his buddies again. As Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." For Emily, D3 made it possible. But we were walking a tightrope. One missed dose, one bad day, and it could all unravel. The fight was on, and I wasn't backing down. Vitamin E, the shield for her muscles. Vitamin E, in its natural D-alpha-tocopherol form, was next, a protector against oxidative stress, the damage that builds up during nighttime repair. A University of Arkansas study showed 400 IU before bed cut muscle damage markers in seniors. Emily's soreness after small chores was killing her. "I tried weeding my garden," she said, wincing. "I was sore for a week." I told her to take 400 IU of natural vitamin E an hour after her last meal. 6 weeks later, her soreness was gone, and her balance was rock solid. "I walked to the park today," she said, her eyes sparkling. "I sat on a bench and watched the kids play, and I didn't feel old." I thought of Mary, a 71-year-old quilter whose shoulder pain had stopped her craft. Vitamin E got her back to her sewing machine, making a quilt for her granddaughter's graduation. These moments are what keep me going when science brings back joy. But Emily's recovery was still fragile. We had to keep pushing, because the thief wasn't done. Vitamin B6, building her back up. Vitamin B6, in its active P5P form, was key for turning protein into muscle. A European study showed seniors with higher B6 levels kept 22% more lean muscle mass over 3 years. Emily was all about her protein shakes, but without B6, that protein was just floating around, useless. "I'm trying so hard," she said, her voice tight with frustration. "Why isn't it working?" I had her take 50 milligrams of P5P 60 minutes before bed with a glass of water. A few weeks later, her energy was up. She started a senior yoga class, moving like she was 50. "I feel like I'm putting myself back together," she said. I thought of Sam, a 69-year-old carpenter who'd lost muscle after surgery. B6 helped him build a rocking chair for his porch. As Oprah Winfrey said, "The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude." For Emily, B6 changed her future by rebuilding her strength. But we weren't out of the woods. Every night was a battle, and we needed the final piece. Vitamin C, the glue holding her together. Vitamin C, in buffered form, was next, crucial for collagen production to keep muscles tough and joints smooth. A British study found high vitamin C intake slashed sarcopenia risk by 67%. Emily's knees were creaking like an old gate. "I sound like a haunted house," she joked, but her eyes showed her worry. I prescribed 1 gram of buffered vitamin C, taken an hour after dinner. A month later, her joints felt better. "I knelt to plant tulips today," she said, her voice full of wonder. I thought of Betty, a 74-year-old baker whose knee pain had kept her out of the kitchen. Vitamin C let her bake her famous pecan pie for her family's Thanksgiving. These are the moments that make medicine worth it when pain turns into purpose. One last vitamin was the key to locking it all in. Without it, everything could fall apart. Vitamin K2, the anchor for her strength. Vitamin K2, specifically MK7, was the game changer. It steers calcium to your muscles and bones, keeping arteries clear and muscles strong. A nutrients study showed a 55% boost in muscle mitochondrial efficiency with K2. Emily's random weakness was a red flag. "Some days, my legs just give out," she said, her voice shaking. I told her to take 100 mg of MK7 with a spoonful of coconut oil before bed. 3 months later, Emily was a new woman. Her legs were solid, her steps sure. She joined a senior dance group, swinging to jazz like she and Jack used to. I thought of Ed, a 70-year-old golfer whose K2 regimen got him back on the course with his kids. As J.K. Rowling said, "It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." Emily chose to fight, and K2 anchored her win. But the real test was coming, a night that nearly broke us both. The night that tested everything. It was that October night in 2024 when my phone rang, and the hospital's words hit like a punch: Emily had fallen. I sped to the ER, my mind racing. Had I missed something? Was this the fracture, the hospital stay, the end of her dreams? I've been a doctor for decades, but moments like that make you question everything. Medicine's a gamble, and Emily was my biggest bet. When I got to her bedside, she was bruised but not broken, just a sprained ankle and some scrapes. I caught myself. "Dr. Thomas," she said, her voice wobbly but proud. My legs held me just enough. Those vitamins had built her up, giving her the strength to brace her fall. It wasn't luck, it was Emily's grit and the science we'd bet on. That night changed me. Emily's fall wasn't a loss, it was proof we were winning. She doubled down on her routine: magnesium, B12, D3, E, B6, C, and K2, taken like clockwork with water and healthy fats. She started physical therapy, swearing she'd never feel that fear again. And I recommitted to every patient, knowing Emily's fight was bigger than her. It was for everyone scared of losing their spark. The night she almost quit. There was another night, one Emily didn't tell me about till later. In December 2024, doubt crept in like a thief. She sat in her kitchen, staring at her pill organizer, wondering if it was all a waste. What if I'm just fooling myself, she thought. The fear of another fall was suffocating, and for a moment, she wanted to give up. Then she saw a photo of her and Jack, dancing in their garden. He'd tell me to keep going, she said later. She took her vitamins that night, and every night since, not just for her, but for the life they dreamed of. As Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Emily chose adventure, and it saved her. The comeback, Emily's new chapter. By her 1-year checkup, Emily was a walking miracle. Her cane was gone, her stride bold. Her rose garden was a neighborhood legend, featured in the local paper. She danced at her grandson's school play, spinning to Fly Me to the Moon with a joy that stopped the room. "Dr. Thomas," she said, hugging me tight, "I thought I was finished. You gave me my life back." Emily's comeback wasn't just about vitamins, it was about refusing to let aging win. Her story spread, and her dance group started a Rose Lady Challenge, sharing her vitamin routine. I kicked off a senior wellness series, telling stories like Bob's Mustang, Linda's piano, and Ed's golf game. Each one's proof that your strength's not gone, it's waiting for you to claim it. What Emily taught me and you. Emily's journey, and the stories of Bob, Linda, Joe, Mary, Sam, Betty, and Ed, gave me 6 lessons I want you to take to heart. 1. Muscle loss isn't your destiny, it's a sign your body needs help. The right nutrients can turn it around. 2. Nighttime's your secret weapon, your body rebuilds while you sleep. Vitamins like magnesium, B12, and K2 make it happen. 3. Small moves win big, a pill, a dab of peanut butter, a sip of water, these are your tools for change. 4. Fear's a liar, as Franklin D. Roosevelt said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Push through, like Emily did. 5. Your dreams are worth it, gardening, dancing, hugging your grandkids, these are worth fighting for. 6. You're never too old, at 60, 70, or 80, you can rewrite your story. Emily proved it. Your turn, start tonight. If you're over 50, or you've got someone you love who is, don't wait for the next stumble, the next ache, the next scare. Emily's story is your chance to act. Start with 1 vitamin, magnesium or K2, the ones you're probably missing. Talk to your doc, get your levels checked, and build a bedtime routine. Your strength, your joy, your life, they are still there, waiting for you. What are you taking before bed tonight? Drop it in the comments on the Living Fully After 50 YouTube channel. Share this with someone who needs it, your mom, your neighbor, your best friend. Muscle loss isn't just about weakness, it's about losing the life you've earned. Emily fought back, and you can too. Hit subscribe on Living Fully After 50 and tap the bell so you don't miss more stories like this. Your golden years can be golden. Start tonight, and let's make it happen together.